Stanley called it a structural decline in demand. That's the official reason 300 workers in New Britain, Connecticut, lose their jobs on May 18, 2026, ending 183 years of American tape measure manufacturing. But customs data tells a different story. Container imports from Thailand grew over 40%. Demand did not decline, it moved, and only 3 brands still build their blades from steel on American soil. 300 jobs disappear in a single day. That's the reality for the union workers at Stanley Black & Decker's New Britain plant. The warn notice went out in early March, giving 60 days warning before the final shift on May 18th. For many, this factory was more than a paycheck. It was a steady career, the place where parents and their kids sometimes worked side by side. IAM Local 1433, the Machinists' Union, called the closure devastating for New Britain families and for the legacy of American manufacturing. The word comes up again and again in union statements and at town hall meetings. Devastating. It's not just a number on a layoff sheet. It's the end of a routine, the loss of health coverage, the uncertainty about retraining at age 50 or 60. A former assembler told the Wall Street Journal, "We never once heard anyone say the single-sided issue was the cause." That's how the news landed on the floor, sudden, with no real explanation, and no chance to fight for the work. For a company that built its reputation on American steel, the impact goes far beyond the gates of 600 Myrtle Street. Stanley's official explanation lands with the precision of a press release: structural decline in demand for single-sided tape measures. That's the line delivered by Deborah Raymond, Vice President of External Communications, in interviews and filings. But customs data tells a different story. Imports of Stanley tape measures from Thailand have jumped from 555 shipping containers in 2019 to 789 in the most recent year, a 42% increase. That's not the footprint of a dying product. U.S. Customs and Border Protection records, coded under HS 9017, confirm the steady rise in inbound tape measures, even as the Connecticut plant was still running. The company's public rationale does not square with what's moving through the ports. If demand for single-sided tapes was truly collapsing, why ramp up overseas shipments? The numbers raise questions about what really drove the closure. Cost, not consumer preference. The reality is that structural decline reads less like a diagnosis and more like a corporate script, recited while the real decision played out in shipping manifests and balance sheets. A company doesn't get 183 years by accident. In 1843, Frederick Trent Stanley opened a bolt shop in New Britain, Connecticut, long before tape measures even existed. Over generations, Stanley Works became a fixture of American industry. Its name stamped on everything from hinges to hammers. But it was the power lock, launched in the 1960s, that changed everything. Suddenly, the Stanley tape became the tool every carpenter, plumber, and electrician reached for. The power lock's wide blade and reliable lock set a new benchmark, one that competitors scrambled to match. For decades, the yellow tape with the black stripe was more than just a measuring tool. It was a promise that the job would get done right, backed by steel pulled and cut in the same city where the company started. That kind of reputation isn't built by marketing. It is earned, one blade at a time, on job sites and factory lines. When a brand with that kind of legacy walks away from the product that made it famous, the loss cuts deeper than a balance sheet. What's left behind isn't just a gap on the hardware store shelf. It is the end of a standard that once defined American craftsmanship. A tape measure's real worth comes down to the blade, not the color of the case or the shape of the lock, but the steel inside and how it performs on the job. Trade standards, like ASME B89.17, set the definition for Standout. the maximum horizontal reach before the blade collapses under its own weight. In practice, that means holding the case at chest height and seeing how far you can extend the tape before it droops and touches the floor. The longer the standout, the less time spent fighting a sagging blade while marking out a joist or stretching across a sheet of plywood. Blade stiffness is not just a matter of feel, it is physics. The flex resistance comes from thickness, and the rule is simple. Stiffness increases with the cube of blade thickness, or T cubed. A blade stamped at 0.0045 inches thick is not just a spec sheet brag, it is the difference between a tape that stays straight at 12 feet and one that folds at 8 feet. Contractors know this from experience, but the numbers back it up. Coatings matter too. Mylar, nylon, or proprietary blends, like XO360, do not just protect against rust. They keep the printed markings from wearing off after a few thousand pulls. Some brands tout 10 times the abrasion resistance of lacquer. That is not marketing fluff. It is tested by dragging the blade against sandpaper, cycle after cycle, until the numbers fade. These are the metrics that separate a job site tool from a throwaway. If you want to judge a measuring tape, start with Standout, blade thickness, and coating durability. Everything else is just plastic. Milwaukee STUD Gen 3 doesn't just talk a big game, it backs it up in the places that matter. The Standout test is the first hurdle. A true 14-foot extension, blade held perfectly level, no cheating with an upward angle. Independent video reviews have clocked the stud at that mark, matching the manufacturer's claim without a millimeter to spare. That's not a marketing number. It's a job site reality confirmed under ASMEB 89.1.7 standards. But Standout is only half the story. Durability is where most tapes fail, and the STUD Gen 3 sets a new bar. Milwaukee engineered its XO360 nylon coating as a full blade extrusion, then bakes it on in a furnace. The result is a surface that shrugs off grit and abrasion, 10 times tougher than lacquer or mylar, according to abrasion cycle testing. Drop tests are where the difference becomes obvious. 36 consecutive drops from 80 feet, full blade retraction each time, and the stud survives without permanent bend or jam. No other domestic tape measure has published comparable results. Milwaukee's numbers aren't just impressive, they are independently validated. And that is what separates a tool you can trust from a tool you tolerate. For trades that face rain, concrete dust, or the unpredictable mess of a job site, blade corrosion is not just a nuisance. It is a deal breaker. That is where Komelon's PowerBlade edge steps in. Unlike most tape measures still using standard carbon steel, Komelon offers a stainless steel variant built for the wet trades: plumbers, masons, landscapers, anyone who has watched a blade rust out before the job is done. Every metal component, from the blade to the end hook and the internal spring, is stainless, so there is no weak link for rust to creep in. The blade itself is 1¼ inches wide, giving it a solid backbone and a true standout of 12 feet. A figure that has been demonstrated in independent shop tests, not just on the side of the package. That means it will bridge most sheet goods or reach across a trench without folding over. Accuracy is not a guessing game here, either. Komelon builds to a federal spec tolerance of less than 1/32 of an inch over the full length, matching the standards set for government contracts and large commercial builds. The nylon coating is extruded, not sprayed, which gives it 10 times the abrasion resistance of lacquer or mylar. For buyers who cannot risk a tape failing in the rain or on a muddy slab, Komelon's stainless PowerBlade edge stands out as the practical alternative. Durable, precise, and built for real-world abuse. It is not a nostalgia piece. It is a tool that does exactly what it claims, and for a lot of crews, that is the only spec that matters. US Tape stands as the last true heritage option, still building steel blade measures on American soil. Found in 1876 by Eustace Rowe, the company's roots run deep in the world of precision surveying and construction. Their classic series uses a 0.0045-inch steel blade, thicker than most imports, and a riveted true zero-end hook that locks in measurements without guesswork. These tapes are not just for nostalgia. They are specified in government contracts and used by crews who need accuracy that holds up over years, not just months. The heavy-duty spring and positive lock give a reassuring snap, the kind you only get from real steel, in a market flooded with plastic and marketing claims. US Tape delivers the kind of build quality that once defined American tools. Lufkin used to be the name on every steel tape in the trades. By 1903, it was the largest US tape measure maker. It was an anchor in American toolboxes. But after Cooper Industries bought Lufkin in 1967, the brand began a long journey through corporate hands. Apex Tool Group took over in 2010, then Crescent Tools in 2017. Each new owner moved production farther from home. Today, Lufkin tapes come from factories in Mexico and China. The badge still says Lufkin, but the steel and the work are nowhere near the old Texas or Ohio plants. For buyers, that is the warning. A familiar logo does not guarantee anything about the blade inside. Heritage can be sold off, one acquisition at a time, until all that is left is packaging and nostalgia. Check the country of origin label before you buy. If it doesn't say USA, it isn't steel blade American. For heavy framing or high-impact trades, Milwaukee's STUD Gen 3 is engineered for abuse. Wet trades or outdoor work. Komelon's stainless PowerBlade edge resists rust where others fail. If you need survey-grade accuracy and real heritage, US Tape is still building classic steel blades here. Don't trust the logo, trust the label. Today, Stanley's tape measures are plastic on the outside and hollow on the inside, brand names over real steel. For tradespeople, the blade is the tool. When manufacturing leaves, so does the standard. What's left isn't heritage, it's just a logo. Real quality still has an address. Share your thoughts below.